What's up, dudes? My name is Nick, back to talk about a little bit of news here, and this one we're talking about BTS. Of course, we have to talk about BTS, because why not? We're going to get on the BTS hype train to rake in the views. These videos don't get very many views, but, that's not the reason why, in all honesty. It's like, I'm not about playing the BTS thing. People are popular, just like people get people to watch my videos. This is actually something that is important, I think, to a certain extent, and also something that is, has made me think, and I got some stuff to say about this. So, of course, the fact is the fact of or the piece of news here that we're gonna use to spark this discussion is about the fact that with their newest album and the song DNA, BTS has debuted on the Billboard, Hot 100 chart coming in at spot number 85, which is a pretty respectable appearance. I mean, this is 100 of the top songs, most popular songs around the world, primarily, or maybe it's in the United States specifically. I don't really know what, how Billboard kind of tracks that. I think it is actually the United States. That's would make sense. And it's a pretty significant thing. So they're, joining groups like Girls' Generation, Wonder Girls, Psy, of course, has been in there. And it's a pretty significant kind of thing to say that you've done that. I mean, no matter even where even if you come in at number 99 or 100 or something like that, it's a pretty tough, group, and it's a pretty tough group of songs to kind of crack, to break into. So it's pretty significant that they've done that. It's not necessarily, people are going to take this and say, and look, this is proof here that BTS is becoming more popular in the United States. And while that is definitely true, and I'm not going to, and I won't necessarily, contest that a lot, the way that I at least look at this is that for the first week, it just indicates, how big their support is from fans within the United States. If it starts to move up or it maintains its spot there, then that means that you're potentially getting other people in the United States on board with that, or at the very least their fans are remaining dedicated to continue streaming and doing whatever it is that Billboard's charting or tracking so that it can maintain its position in the charts. So the chart position in and of itself isn't necessarily something that is super that doesn't really indicate the fact that BTS has made it or anything like that, or even that they're getting anywhere close, because to be honest, people have hyped up Wonder Girls and, Girls' Generation and all of their success and how popular they've been in the United States. Psy, even to a certain extent, for at least, a second. And those have gone nowhere. So, I mean, it's definitely good to be excited and to, realize that, yes, BTS is having, within this current crop of, or within the current generation of K-pop groups, is definitely having unprecedented success in the United States, or at least they're the hot topic when it comes to who's popular in the United States and who's potentially making inroads into the U.S. market as a whole. But you just gotta stay grounded and realize that this ultimately, in and of itself, doesn't mean anything. Winning the Billboard Music Award doesn't mean anything in and of itself. This achievement here and winning that award, combine those into two, and now you got a pretty decent argument. If they can maintain their position in the top 100 for 2 weeks, then you definitely have a good stance and a good argument there that, hey, maybe BTS has a little bit more staying power in the United States than they did with their previous album. But it's just as they've got their first hook in with if they're climbing a mountain, right? You got the hooks and all this stuff. They got their first hook into that rock face and they're ready to start their ascent. But who knows if the second one that they're going to use to take the next step up is going to actually find a good spot to grab onto, and that they're going to be able to hold their position at the very least or improve on it as time goes on. I don't specifically know. I think that they're actually trying to do that, though, because one of the things that's disappointing to a lot of people about their new album, to me too, a little bit, to a certain extent, is that the music it has a little bit of a feel that they've kind of gone away from the thing that BTS has been or the sound and the just general feel that BTS has kind of come out with and has become known for over the last couple of years. And they've gone for something that is, I suppose, a much more trending sound in the world in the world scene of, you know, pop music. So that essentially means that it's something that is much more, you know, trending and is going to be more accepted for a Western market like the United States, obviously, because that's where they're aiming. That's what their rebrand was kind of meant to do, because they've entered a new chapter now. Instead of looking solely at Korea, they're also kind of, you know, they've got one eye. I did say this in my reaction video too, or my album review for this song, is that they are kind of, you know, starting to shift their gaze every once in a while, at the very least, over to the United States to see what's going on over there, see what doors are open, what opportunities they have that they can take advantage of. And this album was a, you know, really, really good shot to, you know, see. You know, they got a little bit of recognition with their win at the Billboard Music Awards. They got some press from it from a bunch of, you know, U.S. outlets, because it's only natural. It's a U.S. award show, so they have to cover the people who win the awards. They can't just like not do that. That'd be kind of suspicious, right? And so now that they've got some people's attention, or some more people's attention in the United States than they did previously, then they, you know, really they fire their shot that is going to potentially try, you know, more likely to capture them than most of their other music was, you know, going to do. You know, and you do also see this with the fact that they did collaborate with the Chainsmokers, or, you know, somebody with the Chainsmokers for one song on the album. Chainsmokers are like the it thing in the United States, or, you know, amongst the most popular groups and stuff like that in the United States. And like, no matter where you are, if you listen to like a, you know, top 40, or you listen to a, you know, pop music hits radio station, you're gonna hear Chainsmokers songs from, I don't know, however long they've been releasing music. They're all over the place in the United States. So even if you don't know who they are and you live in the US, you probably, even if you don't listen to them, you probably do know some of their songs. And, you know, that is just another aspect of, you know, working their way into the US market, getting people's attention, because, I mean, it's a pretty significant thing. They're going to work with them. Also, seen that they've got a collab going on, working with the, I think it's an EDM producer, DJ Steve Aoki. I don't know how to say his name specifically, but yeah, they're working with him too. I've seen that, so that's also another big thing. He's a really, really big figure in the music scene that he's a part of, because I think it is EDM, and so that's pretty significant too. I'm really excited and interested to see what that specifically sounds like, because it's probably going to be something very much different from what they would have gotten with the Chainsmokers. So that's a very interesting thing. I mean, as it is right now, you know, BTS has got a really decent, you know, foothold on the US market, as far as, you know, in relation to, you know, K-pop. And I was gonna say the only way that they can go is up, and that's not necessarily true, because everyone thought that of you know, some previous attempts at the U.S. market, and they didn't go up, they went down, they fell flat on their face. But, you know, it's BTS and Big Hit Entertainment seem to be going about this in a really, really good way, in a really smart way. But they're not releasing music with the you know, sole intent of selling it to the United States market. They're releasing music because they're in Korean, because they're a Korean group, and that's what they have to do. It's still going to be really, really hard, because the absolute biggest thing, the biggest challenge to making it into the US market is the language barrier. You know, people are, you know, as a whole, in general, are honestly really, really turned off by music that is not in a language that they can understand. And yes, I know, you know, Despacito, all these, and there's a you know, pretty decent number of examples of music that is much more accepted and has become really, really popular, but kind of have to understand that the language is Spanish, that those songs are, what the majority of those songs are, and that's essentially like the second official language of the United States, or might as well, it very well could be, if you really want to, you know, dig down into that. So there's that. Also, I believe in that song Justin Bieber was also participated, and so that was a thing that really, really kind of kicked that song off. And so, you know, people will get over the language barrier. You know, it definitely isn't something that Americans are completely closed-minded to. But from my own personal experience with sharing a lot of, you know, stuff and genres of Korean music specifically, not K-pop, to, you know, friends and family that I know, and I'm like, I know that this is a genre that you will enjoy and that you will like. They just haven't been into it. I've specifically gotten feedback from some people where like, this is good music, but I just can't get over the language thing, and so they don't listen to it, you know. And it's coming from people who, you know, my brother specifically, who's really open-minded with listening to just about anything that he can possibly get his hands on, and he just can't get into Korean music because it's in a different language. So that's probably going to be the number one thing that BTS has to get over, or any K-pop group has to get over, if they want to be big in the United States, or they want to be, you know, top dog. And, you know, to be completely honest here, to just wrap this up, is I don't think that the BTS or any K-pop group should be, you know, trying to release music with the intent of being top dog in the United States. They shouldn't be looking to be number one and getting radio play and all this other sort of stuff. They should just be releasing what they're doing, with what, you know, doing what they do, and however things work out, they work out. If they become super popular in the United States, they somehow end up on the radio here, which they probably won't because it's a different language, you know, then that's good. If they don't, then they don't. But, you know, the success in the United States, I don't think, and I don't want it to be the focus of, you know, any groups, the specific focus of any group. Like, we've seen how that's played out and unfolded in the past, and it's not very good. Especially, you know, you kind of have to know what you're doing, you know. It's a completely, you know, different market, in all honesty. And so, you know, definitely, like, really appreciate what BTS is doing. Really do appreciate and respect the work and the success that they've had to get to this point. And, you know, they're getting the benefits and they're getting the recognition from it. You know, so of course they won their you know, award show in the United States. They have got their position here on this Billboard chart. What are they going to do? What's going to happen to them in the future? What's going to happen with them in the future? I don't specifically know, but maybe this is opening the door for more collaborations with U.S. artists that are prominent and well known. And that is just, I mean, that's probably the way that they're going to, you know, work their way into this market, into the consciousness of the music listeners in the United States in general. Like, they don't have to be K-pop fans. Just collab with everybody who anyone in the United States cares about. You know, Justin Bieber, if you really have to, who cares? You know, and just go with it. You know, make the most of the opportunities that are presented, and see what happens. And don't get upset if they lose and if they flop at the end of the day, because, you know, it's all about the experience. It's probably a really great and awesome experience of, you know, going to LA for the Billboard Music Awards and, you know, being a part of that entire event, you know. And us as fans, as K-pop fans, and you as fans of BTS, you know, you get to follow along with this and you know, be proud of them and be happy of, you know, what they're doing, and, you know, just gain a ton of respect. So it's going to be a really fun sort of ride. You know, it's like, you know, I really do appreciate it. I really have a, you know, extreme amount of respect for what it is that they're doing, and specifically the amount of work that they're putting in to do it, and the work that they've done in the past to get here. You know, the music might not be my favorite, or they've released some songs that might not have been something that I've been in 100% love with, but, you know, that doesn't mean that I can't see that, you know, what they're doing is resonating with a lot of people. And, you know, for that, I do have to give them, you know, some props and a round of applause, because that is probably the hardest thing that anybody can do as an entertainer, whether you make YouTube videos or you release music or you do performance art on the street. You know, having something that resonates with people and that people are going to be, you know, excited to hype and promote, it's really difficult. And, you know, BTS and Big Hit Entertainment have found the exact right formula to get their fans just crazy, and just like to support the group like mad, and it's great. I love BTS. I really, you know, I just love BTS for that specific reason. It's like their fans are crazy, in a good way and also a bad way. So that's really it. So I'm gonna stop rambling on around here. 15 minutes about BTS is a long time. I didn't think that I would be able to do this, but I just went. So that's what happens sometimes, especially when I don't have a script. So that's going to be all that I've got for this long news video here. share your thoughts on BTS thing, this specific achievement, whatever you think it is the future holds in store for them, whether that's, you know, their career within Korea or Asia specifically, because they're killing it in China and Japan as well, or you just want to talk about their career in the United States specifically, or Europe, you want to talk about how they're doing in Africa too. I don't care, it doesn't matter. You know, we're just talking about BTS as the global K-pop group that they have apparently become. So share your thoughts and all that stuff down in the comments below. Be nice about it too, because I know, you know, I don't know, it's not specifically because armies are insane sometimes, but it's just kind of just a thing that I put out for every video, is because, you know, this community that I'm, you know, building up here, about having some good, honest, respectful, thoughtful discussion about our thoughts and opinions, whether we agree with something or disagree, whether we agree or disagree with something that somebody said. Just be nice about it, discuss it with them, you know, counter them with a nice civil conversation, and, you know, that's what we're all about here. So if that's a community that you would like to become a part of and you are not as of yet, then please do consider clicking on the subscribe button down below. So that's going to be it for this video. I'm sorry that it's gone on so long, but hopefully if you watched all the way to the end, you found some, or you heard some good stuff, or you appreciated it a lot. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.